If you're a real estate agent looking to get more listing appointments, I might have the secret formula for you. StoryBrand is a simple framework built around one simple idea. Your customer is the hero, not you. Most real estate agents flip that. We talk about our awards. We talk about our 40 years of service. We talk about how our mama and our mama's mama has been in the industry here for the last 1,000 years. And that's why you should choose me as your realtor. Sellers don't care about your brokerage. And they don't care about your production. And they don't really care about your awards. Sellers are not looking for a hero. They're looking for a guide. My belief is this: selling appointments are not one with information. You can have the most beautiful listing packet in the world that guides somebody through exactly the steps to list their home, all 700,000 of them. And you're going to lose the deal almost every time if you're up against somebody who's using this kind of a strategy. Listing appointments are one with connection, and that connection is determined by whether or not you have the ability to really see into what that seller needs and define and clarify their problem. There are some times where sellers don't even really know what their problem is. They don't know what or how, or they just see this big fuzzy thing. They know that they have to move, but they don't really understand the why or what they need out of it in order to be able to get to their happily ever dream of living in a beach house. At least that's my happily ever after dream. In a listing appointment, if you start with this pretty cover page that covers all of your credentials, you're probably not going to win very quickly. You're gonna have to fight really hard to get them back into your corner so that they'll know that you're the guide that they should be selecting. If you're going in with a StoryBrand style approach, you're going to start by helping define what the seller's goals are. What does a successful sale look like to you? Then you name the obstacles in the way: pricing pressure, timing, fear of sitting on the market for too long. And then you present a clear 3-step plan. And you know what? That 3-step plan might not be the one that you had pre-prepped in your guide. You're going to prep strategically. You're going to launch this thing intentionally. You're going to negotiate from a place of strength. But all of those things are going to be unique to that seller, because you know that at the end of the day, all of those things are going to be unique to that seller. Another way you could win using StoryBrand in your real estate business would be on social media. Big shock. Ding, ding, ding. Here we are. Most agents are posting features. Just listed, just sold, under contract, back on the market, just listed, just sold. I'm bored. I'm scrolling. I'm done. I don't care. The StoryBrand lens speaks to the problem behind the post. Why did this sale matter to your client? And even if your client's not willing to get on camera and say these things out loud there, you have the ability to tell that story. Instead of just listed, you're speaking to the tension that the sellers can feel. If you're worried about listing because you don't want to leave money on the table right now, here's what actually determines value. Take a look at your last 5 to 8 deals. See what kind of buyers and sellers you'd had. You might have this idea of an avatar or this person that you think you're selling to, but when you look at the numbers and the statistics, you're going to see that you're actually selling to somebody else. If you go through and you see, these are the people that I've been serving, these are the problems that they've had, you're going to be able to get really clear on what and how you should be talking about your business online. You're going to get really clear on what you're talking about and how you're talking about your business online. Now your content is going to attract people who actually feel understood. Finally, in email, you're not just sending market updates. And I think that we've been saying this over and over again. You're not hearing from anybody who's talking about real estate, social media, and marketing in general, where we're like, oh, send out 14,000 market updates. That will definitely get people to say yes to you. Why does that market update matter to your client? And if you can't figure it out, then take that list of clients that I just had you take a look at, upload their needs into ChatGPT, and then upload the market update and say, based off of the needs of my clients, take this market update and help me frame 4 social media posts that would hook future clients that look like them into wanting to do a deal with me. You can finagle that prompt a little better than that. If you're worried that interest rates are going to prevent you from being able to sell your house, here's 3 ways that you can reframe your listing so that buyers are going to want to buy it. Lots of great options here. Then you walk them through it and give them the next steps. Get them on your calendar. Have the conversation in person. You can project what you think that their problem is, but until you actually get them in person, you're not actually going to be able to speak to their problem. So you can start with this general, this is what we think that the big overall picture problem is, but then once you get into a conversation with the individual, don't get stuck here. Learn who they are, be the guide, pivot with what they need, understand why they're doing what they're doing, and speak to that from your heart, because they're going to know whether or not you're using it as a sales pitch or not. You really don't have to memorize another framework. While I definitely encourage you to read the entire book, if you went to the KW conference, then you have this for free from Dawn or from KW. All you really need to know is that your customer is the hero and that you are the guide. If you're posting something on social media, sending an email, if you're sending a text message, take a look at it and say, am I trying to make myself sound like the main character here? Take a look through the lens and ask yourself, am I trying to make myself sound like the main character, or am I allowing them to be the main character in what is very obviously their story? If you start doing that consistently, your listing appointments are not going to feel like a sales pitch anymore. You might not even need to bring your seller presentation anymore, because you're going to be so intimately aware of the language to use and the way to speak to somebody where they feel connected to you, and you're going to love your job. And I think ultimately, you're going to love your job more.